Hey, it's Bob Saget's here for you. That's right. It's Bob Saget talking in third person as I do so eloquently. Welcome to a special episode. They're all special to me. I love talking to people. I love listening. I'm getting better at it. I still cut off people sometimes. I don't know why. I get excited like a kid, that didn't get his Ritalin, and I just bounce off the walls wanting to ask another question or inject something. So I apologize if I ever cut anybody off. But the guy that circumcised me said that he had a lot of guilt over my circumcision because I just think he kept clipping. He didn't have to. This is a really special episode. It always is, but this is Tiffany Haddish. I'm going to be talking to my old friend Tiffany, and I love her. We haven't connected that much in a long time, but last time I saw her, well, you'll hear. You're going to hear because we're going to talk about it right now. Also, look at that phone number up there and call that number, and you leave your name and your number and what question you'd have or what you want to talk about with me, and then look on my Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be telling you, when I'm going to be taking calls, and which means I'll be calling you. But I'm a blocked number, so sometimes people don't answer. So sorry about that. But Tiffany gave me a shout on my phone, so I'm going to call her back. And here we go with the beautiful and hilarious and incredibly talented and a really great person. Okay, how's that as an intro? And by the way, sometimes when you build somebody up, they can't hold up to that. She is genuinely all that. Here's Tiffany Haddish. There we go. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic.
I got to see you for a second because I hit the wrong button and I saw you and you look just beautiful. You're all made up. Are you going somewhere?
I'm not made up. I just put on some lipstick and that's it because my lips was dry as hell.
Yeah, I got a hold of some.
On my chapstick.
I grabbed Burt's Bees and put it on my warped lips, and I feel better. Well, you look wonderful. How are you dealing with all this insanity?
I'm dealing with it pretty good, I guess I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to hear voices now.
That's good.
I feel good about the voices. They're telling me things like, "No, Tiffany, you don't have to get on that treadmill. Fuck working out." Like, but I'm like, "Shut up, voice! I'm getting on the treadmill."
Oh, so you're fighting the non-empowering voices you're hearing. That's good.
Yeah.
You're a strong woman, man. I know this for a long time. I just have so much love for you, and we'll get into that in a minute because we have listeners that you make feel good. You make me feel good. But we hadn't seen each other for years, and then I saw you at Jeff Ross's, and I think it's probably one of the longest hugs I've had since I hadn't seen my kid for 2 years. But
oh wow,
that was like it meant a lot to me because you're so damn special and.
Thank you. I think you're so damn special. You bring me so much joy. And I've known you so long. And it's like.
How long has it been? Because I have no frame of reference that I'm this old. I don't understand it.
It's been like 20 years.
Oh, my God.
Yes. I met you for the first time, I think, in 98.
Oh, man. How old were you?
I was 18. I was 18, about to be 19.
So let's explain to my wonderful people that are part of us here that you bring joy to, that you and I met because I was working, I was doing a thing that Jamie Masada, even though, he's got to be credited once in a while, even though we all don't want to credit him, but we have a love for him, and he believed in you. And I believed in you, and you were 19. I think it was 18. But I would tutor this thing. Other comedians would tutor it. George Lopez, Paul Rodriguez, a bunch of people, and it was comedy camp, and it would be for kids of any age, from 5 to 25.
It's from age 7 to 18.
See, this is why I never learned anything.
Yeah, and when I went to the comedy camp, I was 15, about to be 16. But the time that I met you, I was already performing at the club.
No, I met you before that. I met you I got better memory. I met you at the actual comedy camp. I met you when you were younger. And
Damn.
I did. And I remember because you were saying, I just want to get on here. And I remember talking to Jamie about you, but it was going to happen. It's like saying I did something, you know, you're destined to be who you are because you've got this special thing, which is, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll praise you up and down. You'll go off feeling really good because you are incredibly special.
Thank you.
Well, it's the truth. It's just the truth. And I'm trying to, well, let me just stay on one track because it's hard for me to do that. You know that. But it was, you were younger and you were not on stage there. You were not allowed to go on at night. You had done the comedy camp. I thought I saw you 2 times there. It might have been once, but I thought it was 2 times. And then I saw you when you were 19 and you said, I'm going on. I've got a spot. Because before that,
that's what I remember. And I was like, please watch me. Please watch me.
Yeah, but you knew me already because we'd met at comedy camp. And then I also had seen you. Oh, my
God.
Right, because you knew me. It wasn't like you knew me from TV. It was because you knew me because we'd talked. And you said to me, when you were in comedy camp, you said, I want to be like Richard. I just want to do what Richard did. And I said, well, you can. And then you did a set. And it just... Everybody knows the minute it happens, everybody knows that there's something that you can't define, that the person has the gift. And, you know, we all are empowering each other right now, too, in addition to, you know, people love you. I mean, for God's sakes, I had to do a little bit of looking up, but I didn't need to. But you've done like 11 or 12 movies in 3 years.
I work my ass off.
And you're amazing. I mean, you know, we're teed up. My wife and I are teed up for Like a Boss. We're ready to go because it just hit Apple right now. So and the world flipped upside down, and you got this giant success. It's never going away. You know, it's just never going to go away because you've already proven that you have dramatic range and all this stuff. But it all came from this young lady who, I mean, do you want to talk about what you went through a little bit?
Yeah, well, I grew up in foster care. First I was with my mom and my stepdad, and then she had a really bad car accident and she couldn't take care of us anymore. And my stepdad had left her, and it was really difficult. She ended up becoming very abusive and violent, and we ended up going into foster care. And I lived in a few different homes, and I was having issues in school. And it was my social worker that got me into that comedy camp where I found my voice and figured out, like, okay, if nothing else works out in life, I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian at least. Like, because I really enjoyed making people laugh. It just made me feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured if I feel this good, they got to feel pretty good too. So, and I did it till I was like 19, and then 18 till I was 18, and then I got emancipated once I graduated high school, and I didn't have anywhere to stay, and so it was like I got a car, but it was really hard to do stand up and be homeless at the same time. So I went and got a job doing customer service, working at an airline, and kind of stopped doing comedy. And then I got depressed and started going to therapy. And the therapist was like, "What makes you smile? What makes you happy?" And I'm like, seeing people laugh, hearing people laugh at things I say, that makes me feel good. She's like, "Why don't you just stand up as a hobby?" And then I did one show, and then it was like that show. Somebody said, "Hey, I want you to do this other show for me, and we'll pay you $50." And I bombed, and they still pay me the $50 anyway.
I've been
and
there.
I was like, "This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life." I'm doing it.
Do you think because and 2 people, it sounds like, really helped you so much? The social worker and the shrink. Those were like little angels along the way that kind of gave you a little push and said, "Well, try this." And that's great people. Those are good people. But do you think, and I had a lot of death in my family, a lot of hardships and stuff. Do you think that you wouldn't be able to be who you are now had it not been for all these hardships? Because you had exponential hardships.
I think, without those, well, sometimes I wonder, like, if my mom would have just stayed on the same track and not had that car accident, would I be like a spoiled brat with an inheritance? Because my mom had all these properties. She was doing so good with her businesses. Like, I could be a princess right now, but And I am a princess.
You are now. You are. You're a
I
certified
am.
princess.
I am, but it's through my hard work,
Yeah,
And
you work your ass off, and you did 20 years ago once you started doing spots. You were unstoppable, and you have the work ethic in that.
yeah.
And so, please go back to that. So you do think that obviously we are the
Yeah, I
result.
don't think like if things would have panned out a different kind of way, I really feel like I probably would just be working some customer service job or maybe married to some rich guy or something. I don't know.
I don't think so. I met
I don't
you.
think
I met you like 16 or something, and when I saw you, you already had it. I mean, I've got 3 daughters. They all have this sparkle in their eye. They're all artists, and that means like painting and welding and glass blowing. And it's embarrassing to tell someone your daughter blows glass. That's hard. But
But she makes beautiful sculptures.
they're all
Come on.
penises. But
Well, tell her to send me one.
I'll have
Tell
see.
her to blow me one with extra veins, and I want it to be about 6 to 7 inches.
Oh, why? That's great. I mean, you just made me feel great.
Yeah,
So
really, I would prefer 5, but just to be, give her some work.
do you want to go for 2? There's got to be somebody listening who's just sitting at home, just
Well,
alone.
I prefer small. I prefer small as opposed to big.
That's interesting. Well, what is the reason for that?
Well, smaller usually is more respectful. They're kinder. They're just more attentive, and they take out the trash. They just do. They're more of service. When they're big, they're kind of disrespectful. They're rude. They come and go when they want to.
Well, they're getting weighed.
Argue with them to get things done.
They're getting weighed down. It's like having an anvil. So they're probably just irritable. They're ornery.
Yeah.
I
like
wouldn't
mine
know.
smaller.
Yeah, I'd say mine's about medium, and then we'll be posting that up on my YouTube page. But
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah,
medium.
Medium.
That's good. See, so you're in the middle there. You could be really kind, and sometimes you can be an asshole.
Oh yeah, I'm a moderate.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you dealing with? Because I want to go all over the place. Because I just when you started to break and you kept working and working, and then movies kind of happened. I mean, TV stuff will always be there for you, and you do projects on your own. But I would say Girls Trip. Would you say that was the explosion? Was that the big thing?
That was the explosion. That was the moment.
Literal and figurative.
For me, it was like 2-3 years before that when I did the Arsenio Hall show. I was like, okay, I can die now. I'm happy.
You're right.
But so I was happy then, and to get Girls Trip, it just really changed the whole spectrum of everything. Yeah.
It was amazing, and you sprayed the audience with laughter. Sorry, you've heard every version. You've done every version of that joke, I'm sure.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So, were you in production when this thing hit? Were you working on something?
Yeah, I was working on a movie with Paul Schrader, Oscar Isaac, and Willem Dafoe in Mississippi, and we have 5 days left to shoot. And yeah, we still got 5 days left to shoot. So I know I got a job when we get out of this, at least. You'll
always have a job, but that sounds like some hardcore, serious work with some amazing actors.
It's really challenges my skills a lot.
Yeah. Well, you can do anything. You really can. I mean, in the kitchen, you were pretty. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I loved watching you in that. It's just, I love you. You got so much range. It's like going to be so much fun to watch all of it.
Yeah. Well, when we first went into quarantine, I went ahead and had my own Tiffany Haddish day.
Right.
Where I could seek my work and decided, like, okay, the next thing I do, I'm going to try to do this more. I'm going to make sure I'm more fit on this. And so
more challenges.
That's part of why I've been like, one of my goals is when we get out of this quarantine that I want to be able to do the split.
Well, do you need help? I can come over.
Sure.
I shouldn't say that. My wife won't.
Do you know how to do splits?
I could get in yoga. I cannot fully, but my legs are like, I have chicken legs, so I'm able to kind of, but I don't want to go all the way to the ground because I'm afraid that my balls will get rug burn, and that's
hilarious.
I get scared of that. Can you do splits?
No, I mean I can get down to like 5. I'm 5 inches off the ground, so
right.
I want to get all the way to the ground.
That means you can. You'll be.
I can do it to the right. I can't to the left. It's a little bit harder, And in the middle, it's like, oh my gosh. But I'm gonna get it done. I'm like every day, 15 minutes a day, stretching, trying to get there.
Well, God help the man that you're with once you're able to do that.
I know, cause I'm gonna bust it on him. Oh, you're gonna have to be strong in the back.
Maybe you get him a lumbar pillow.
I know. Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Now, are you fully quarantined, or are you out going places anytime?
I'm here with my brother. And I did go up to the Laugh Factory and do that social distance show they have on IG. And that was cool. I loved it because it was like Lysol everywhere. It was good. I had my mask. And,
right.
Yeah, it was good. And then we went to, and that's about it. And I've been going to the grocery store maybe once every 2 weeks. And that's about it.
But you're Tiffany Haddish. You don't order in?
I mean, I do order some things, but when they say like, oh, it's going to take 2 days, then I'm like, well, I might as well just go to the store.
Right. So you put on the mask
but
and
I
the
like
gloves.
to cook, so I've been cooking every day, like, or every 2 or 3 days. I cook like a big meal so it'll last a while, and I've been gardening. That's why I was in the greenhouse. I was putting I had watermelon seeds that have sprouted, so I put them in the ground. It's like magic.
Oh,
so, yeah.
So are you missing other family? Are you able to, or friends? Are you Zooming with people or FaceTiming?
I'm Zooming and FaceTiming. I miss my grandma. I want to give her a big kiss, but
that's the hardest.
Yeah.
Where is she?
She's like only like 3 miles away from me in her house, and I want to go over there really bad, but I can't.
Yeah,
my auntie's over there, so I FaceTime with my auntie and talk to my granny through that.
Good.
Yeah.
As long as she's not alone, that's the best part.
Yeah.
And are you getting closer? Some people are driving each other crazy with family or in their relationship. Are you and your sister going at it, or are you guys getting?
No, me and my brother. It's my brother.
Your brother.
With me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my listening.
We're not going at it.
I got a headset on and my listening sucks.
So we're doing good, man. We get along well. He stays in his room and plays video games, and I rule the rest of the house.
How old is he?
27.
So does he have like a girlfriend or something that he's missing?
Yeah. Well, his girlfriend lives in like Fresno, and we live in LA. So.
Right.
Yeah, he'll probably when things die down, he'll probably go over there.
So this thing for you has probably done what it's done for me, and it's done for a lot of us, which is there's something motivating about it once we get over the fact that, oh, damn, I'm tired. I'm going to rest for a week. And then that goes away, and you go, well, what can I do, and how can I contribute, and what's my output for what I'm doing? And you're saying you're working on yourself. And you're also, do you find yourself creating material, or do you find yourself reaching out?
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm writing every day, as far as material goes. So I'm like excited about getting on stage. And then I find myself like, sending food to hospitals and, donating to food banks that are providing for foster youth that, don't get to eat meals because they're not in school. There's a lot of kids that's not eating every day, or they usually eat at school. So it's a little difficult for the families to be able to feed them. So try to make sure, they got food and things like that. That's how I'm contributing. And then I'm just watching a lot of TV, trying to get those ratings up for my friends for their shows.
What about the OG? Where is that now? Did you guys finish?
Yeah, we finished season 3. So it just came out a couple of weeks back. And so every Tuesday, it comes on TBS. And it's doing pretty good. It's the number one comedy.
Yeah, it should be. It's adorable. And Tracy's like we're brothers from another mother, Bobby. He's always doing it.
Tiffany, you better be careful out here. You're going to mess around and get pregnant. You're a beautiful girl.
He's right, though. Do you find yourself, well, his advice is always good. Serpico 911, we take payola. It's when he drops an octave that's like, and he knows, and he lowers his brow and he stares in your eyes. It's half creepy, half adorable.
Right.
Do you find, and I've been finding it, but I would think you much more than I could relate to, when you're given to whatever food bank, I've been given to LA Food Bank and the food bank in New York, and 'cause I have two daughters there, and I have so many friends there, and places hit so hard. Do you find that this hits you even deeper because of where your roots are? I mean, were you hungry as a kid? Were you having problems like that?
Oh yes, always hungry as a kid. I was the skinniest kid, and I know what that feels like. So I don't want anyone to feel that way. I I think about like uh, how there's like you have access to food, but it's not necessarily good food. And I want children to be able to have access to food that's actually nutritious, that's going to benefit your immune system,
Yep.
as opposed to foods that's going to break you down and make you more sick in the long run.
Yep.
I don't know if you've been paying attention to the statistics, but this disease has hit more of the Black community and brown community than it has any other community because they already have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
And those are because of these food deserts and not having access to healthy choices.
Yep. Only eating and fast food and just the same stuff every day that is hard on your system. Yeah, the statistics are staggering, and they can't
or like processed food.
Yeah. They can't get the medical attention that they need either. I mean, it's been really incredibly hard, and I even hate the word.
That's something that's been happening for 100 years. That's been going on for a long time, and I'm a part of me is like sad that this disease is happening, but glad that people now can see it. It's come to light, like, because I know it's been talked about in the community a lot. I've talked about it, but it's never really been paid attention to till now.
Yeah, and there's and people can't put politics on this because it's a fact. And if people don't want to believe it, that's because they're just racist, and they're just wrong.
Right.
They're just
and the whole thing has happened because of systemic racism and whatnot. So it's like it's racism on top of racism. It's like I remember a doctor telling me, "Well, you can't be in that much pain. You're African American. It shouldn't hurt that. You shouldn't feel as much pain as the average." What do you mean as the average?
What?
I'm a human. I hurt just as much as anybody else. Like just because I got browner skin doesn't mean that I don't feel pain.
I don't understand any of it. I was over a friend's house, and our friend Dave Chappelle was there, and we hadn't talked to each other in a bit. We've known each other a really long time, and we just went up, and it was right when, I would say this was a few years ago, when the real hatred was coming out, and that's what drove me back to do a new hour and get a whole new thing up that I can't do right now, obviously, unless I'm wearing a mask at the Laugh Factory. But it was, we just hugged each other, and it was after a horrible news day of just hatred and racism and all the stuff that's driving us all crazy, and it's coming out in the open, kind of. But people are still people. But we were just hugging each other, and we both got emotional and go, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Don't they just understand that we're all just people? I never even understood it as a kid. And I grew up a long time ago. There were segregated bathrooms when I was 5 years old. So I just don't know how womankind, if womankind had been the whole thing and not mankind, I think we'd be better off.
Oh, we would be a lot better off, but
yeah,
that is not the case. That is not the case. I'm still having a hard time trying to understand it and process it. Like, why is this? It's constantly something I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why?
Yep.
But it is.
I know. That's where I'm at. We're going to take a short little word. And
my brother just said, I have to say this before you take this break. My brother just said, the source of mankind's problems.
Men's ego and our ball sack.
Their men's egos and their ball sack.
Tell your brother he's a genius. Honestly, please, he's a genius.
That is the root of the problem.
He's right. Countries are overthrown over ball sack. And
yes, and egos.
a decent ball sack, if it's ironclad, it will give you ego. Huge, giant ego. And the penis don't help either. I'm telling you.
No, it don't.
No, the whole combo platter is just it's fucked up the world. Um, we're going to be right back.
All right.
What if you need to go to the post office? What if you need to go there, right? And you don't want to go there. What if you need postage, say, to send out letters and packages? Well, don't you worry, because Stamps.com is here to help. How? Ask me how. All right, I agree. Because anything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. You can print postage on demand and skip those lines and crowds at the post office. Stamps.com brings all of the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer in the safety and comfort of your own home, office, or anywhere else you're hunkering down right now. It could be a trailer, a tent, a refrigerator box, wherever you are. If you got a computer and a printer, whether you're a small business sending invoices, an online seller shipping out products, or you're just working from home and need to mail stuff, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. You simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Can I say the word any anymore? No. Once your mail is ready, you just leave it for your mail carrier, schedule a free package pickup, or drop it in a mailbox. No human contact or animal contact is required. It's that simple. And like I said, with Stamps.com, you get great discounts too. You get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off of USPS shipping rates. That's a lot. And now, in addition to offering discounted U.S. Postal Service rates, Stamps.com also offers UPS services with discount rates up to 62%. That's a lot. Plus, with Stamps.com, you won't even have to pay UPS residential surcharges. Can you get that other places? I don't think so. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, especially these days because many of our friends don't have a lot going on. And there's a lot going on right now. And so this is going to save you time and money and keep you safe in these crazy times. And right now, my listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Everybody's looking for no long-term commitment. Come on, it's rough times. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in B-O-B. That's right, capitals, Bob. That's right, just type in Bob. That's Stamps.com and enter Bob, B-O-B. I don't know how I remember that. I think they did that so I'd remember it. Anyway, go to Stamps.com. You won't be sorry you did it, and you'll be able to get your stuff out on time and effectively and without having to go to the post office. Support for Bob Saget's Here For You is brought to you by Manscaped. That's right, Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. I knew somebody that used to be the best at it, but not now. Not now that Manscaped's in the game. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Somebody wrote that, but you know what? Think about it. A tool for your tool. That's amazing. You won't even be a tool anymore if you're all Manscaped. It's just more endearing. You're more childlike, and yet you're cool and metro. Well, I have a story about not having groomed. It was pretty bad back in the day. It was really bad. I mean, I had like a nanny goat beard down there, and small little critters would want to climb in it and use it as a tree swing when I would have my legs parted down at the swim pond, down at the lake. But I will tell you, it's important to keep yourself groomed because you're not going to meet anybody. And even if you're alone, say you're all alone, you're not with anybody. You're just holed up in your place. You want to be able to see the holed up area. You want to see all those nooks and crannies. And to do that, you got to clean it up. Clean that thing up. And there's ways to do it. You know, you might not know how to even sit and pivot. You could sit in front of a little mirror. Say someone you know has a makeup mirror. And you could put it there right in front of your junk and clean it so you don't nick your bag. If you nick your bag, that was actually a joke of mine once that I was going to change my name in Vegas to Nick Bag. So if you see Nick Bag up on the marquee, that's me. But I'm telling you, you got to just keep that groin area happy and airy and clean and groomed. And so what I'm going to tell you is something from the heart. Manscaped has redesigned the electronic trimmer. They have redesigned it. Do you know how much work went into that? The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months. 18 months. Do you know what else they could have done? Nothing as important as this. They perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. That's right, This is a dream commercial. It's not even a commercial. It's a philosophy. That's what this is. And they just released, it was a quick release, but they released the new improved Lawnmower 3.0. That's right. You trim that lawn, you trim those hedges, you're going to have the most beautiful manscaping ever. Ever. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. And you know they happen within 2 blocks of your home. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Do you know how important it is? And as you get older, I'm a little bit older. I'm not an old man, but I'm middle-aged plus. And I don't want, they hang down. I'm sorry, but the sack gets saggy. And I'm Bob Saget. And you don't want to nick that stuff. You don't want to have like someone like underneath a rooster hanging between your legs. You want to keep that stuff clean. You don't want to be cutting it with a razor. You don't want to be using scissors and a trimmer and then a razor. And then all that happens is you get hurt. You can't get hurt. Your junk is too important to the world. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. We've been waiting for this technology. This is the most important scientific breakthrough, I think, of this entire century. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. I mean unleaded. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. 90 minutes. Could you imagine just spending 90 minutes trimming up your ball sack? Do you know what a great use of 90 minutes that is? You could be doing a lot of things. You could be learning math. You could be doing your homework. You could be, splitting the atom. Why split atom if you can split hairs? Don't split the atom. Keep yourself groomed. Groom that thing. Are you listening to me? I'm talking to you, son. And one of the coolest features, by the way, is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. It's an LED light. It's amazing. Limos don't have this kind of lighting. This is amazing. You can't trim yourself up in a limo with an LED light, and you don't know where that limo's been. You know where the Manscaper's been. You know where the Lawnmower 3.0 has been, because it's brand new when you get it. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and it's trademarked. 7,000 RPMs on your balls. There's nothing better than that. Nothing. Peace on earth, close second. And let's not forget about the charging stand. You have to have a charging stand. You show your mower off loud and proud right in the middle of the damn living room, right on the piano, because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. USB plugs into anything. It's universal until 2 years from now when they come out with something better. But till then, there'll be converters. And if you're listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself, in your first hand, whichever is the more dominant. You trim that junk of yours. You hear me? I'm like a dad to you. You trim your junk and you stay in school. Now, here's the big part. Well, I don't know if you got a big part, so I'm not judging. By the way, with manscaping, it makes it look bigger. And that alone, besides a magnifying glass, is the key to life. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T, at manscaped.com. That was very hard to say without laughing because my name is the code that gets you 20% off and free shipping, okay? You just put in the code SAGET at manscaped.com and your balls will thank you, and I will thank you, and all of the listeners will thank you because I'm almost done. 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET at manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T. Finally, my name has a use. All right, we're back. Wasn't that nice to take that break? That was comfortable.
Yes, needed that break.
So we left off at your brother's wisdom, which is the man's ego and his ball sack. That is what has hurt this world.
Yes, that's the root of all the problems.
Until it hits you in your backyard, and then you go, well, wait a minute. Not the ball sack. You know what? Yeah, this is why I love you. Well, we have the same sense of humor. I mean, you can't help but go into the gutter, but you don't have to be there. You do it by choice to have fun. Because
the sun is splashing and get a little dirty every now and then.
And I surprised people because I was the TV dad for a long time, but then it's called acting. So, you know, Anthony Hopkins didn't really eat people. I don't think they understand that. But,
right.
But it's interesting. I knew Richard Pryor pretty well. Did you ever get to meet him?
Yeah, I did. I met him at the comedy camp, and he's the one that taught me that, people don't come to comedy clubs because they want to hear about the problems or politics or religion or about pop culture or celebrities. They come to comedy shows to have fun. So when you're on stage, it doesn't matter what you're talking about as long as you're having fun. You're having fun, they're having fun.
And that's the voice from the greatest of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
I got to do a movie with him. I was in a movie called Critical Condition, and we shot it in North Carolina. And I spent a lot of time with him. And I was friends with him from the Comedy Store because I hosted it for so many years. And he was so kind to me. He just liked me. And because he got it. And, I mean, he got that I don't understand anything. I don't understand. He would talk about how horrible it was when he was young. And I mean, tell me personally, the kind of racism, which is so there right now, but then multiply it by 10, what he went through in his time. And he would talk about how he went back to Africa and how, what an amazing experience. And he did that in, I think the last movie he did, his last concert film about going back there. And it was pretty serious about how much, it meant to him. Have you had an interest in going there?
Oh, yes. I went, when my father passed away, I went to bury him there with his mother because that was one of his things that he wanted me to do. And it was a life-changing experience. It was the first time I felt like a complete human being. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I feel like every person should, if they get the opportunity, go back to their homeland and just really experience, like the food was so good. Like I felt so invigorated and like there's so many opportunities in life and just really understood who I was as a person. Mm-hmm. It really helped me to grow as an individual. Like, for so many years, I'm like, why do my fingers look different than everybody else's fingers in this family? My feet look different than everybody else's feet. And I go over there and I meet my aunties and they got the same kind of fingers I got and the same kind of feet I got. And then they're teaching me this language that, I'm still trying to learn to this day. That's like one of my other goals when I get out of here, to Nelson Tigrinya, so I can talk to my aunties, But it was a beautiful experience. And there I was treated like a real princess. I'm like, I should have been here the whole time.
You would have not had a car to live in. You would have had a castle.
I know, right?
But there were no comedy clubs.
Beautiful hut.
And maybe there was like a small hut comedy club, just, I don't know, some straw hat.
No, they have like cafes and stuff where you could like sing or whatever, or be like a dancer. They have like these professional traditional dancers. They do like the traditional dances of the different villages and people there. So yeah.
I was there, I guess about 10 years ago. Where is your family from, and where else did you go in Africa? And where did you go?
I only went to Eritrea. Mm-hmm. That's right next to Ethiopia. It's on the east side of Africa.
Right.
They're a fairly new country because they were in war for like 30 years, fighting for their independence back in the 70s and the 80s. And they finally got it in like 91. And so, yeah, they've been around for a while.
It's unbelievable what happened. I'm sitting here in my study looking at a picture of Nelson Mandela, a famous one where he was freed finally and sitting on his balcony. Yeah. And it's just unbelievable what this world has done to human beings over the years. And people from the same, they're practically cousins wanting to kill each other. It just, mm-hmm. I have cousins I'd rather not know, but
right.
But I don't want to exterminate them.
Right. I just want them to not live in my house.
Right. It's okay to not be close anymore.
Right.
Do you have or do you keep in contact with your relatives in Africa?
Yeah. We keep in contact from time to time with like Facebook message. I try to talk to them every few months or so. It's a chore.
Yeah.
But we try.
Technology too is hard for some people too.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of.
They're older.
Yeah, the older people don't try to. Oh, I had a cousin in a Zoom meeting. The whole Zoom meeting was just to try to get them to be able to be on Zoom. That was the whole. That was the whole meeting. It was just an older person. Didn't know what button to hit. We couldn't have a camera. Then they hit a background. I don't know where they were. They actually put up. They put up the Tiger King background. It was. Please get Joe Exotic off my Zoom. So, doing this, I call it a show, but doing this, whatever I'm doing, this thing, a lot of the episodes, I just call people and I get their numbers. They call a special line that I post on Twitter or Instagram. And I've been talking to people, and I called a guy the other day, and he was so stoned when I called, and I said, "It's Bob Saget," and he just started giggling because he was so high. And I talked to him for a half hour. It was so much fun. And this is
hilarious.
It's hilarious because it's the one-on-one human connection that we kind of have been missing. And we know we don't want to live like this forever, but there's something, God help all the people that are, we all have friends that have been affected by this and are sick and lost people. And so it's serious, but from a positive person like yourself, and I try to be as positive as I can be, no matter what the hell terribleness is happening. But it's a special time that the whole earth is going through at the same time. It's a forced reset. It's negative and sad as hell, but it's still, there's something positive about it. I can't explain it, and I hate saying it because it sounds like I'm trying to make light of it because it's a terrible, terrible thing. But are you feeling that same kind of thing?
Well, I'm definitely feeling like it's a definite like planet reset and like a time for the earth to heal, a time for people to heal,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been seeing like every time someone's like, yeah, I got it, or such and such has it, or my grandmother, she passed, like, and I'm just like, wow. First of all, I'm like praying for their health and praying for peace for them, going through these hard times. But I think of this saying like, only the strong survive. So keeping a strong immune system and learning about that. This is a time I feel like for people to learn. We have access to all this information, and I think it's important for people to like do your research, learn, know what's best for you, use discernment, because everything's not real. Everything they're saying, there's some fake news out there, I'm sure.
Everywhere. Even in the stuff we believe in the most, we find out they retract it 2 days later because they don't know.
Right. So that's why it's important to like use your discernment and go with what feels best. But I mean, when I step outside in my backyard, the air is so fresh.
Yeah.
And I've been in Los Angeles 40 years, my whole life, and I have never seen the sky where there's no haze. There's no like gray, chemical haze, the smog is down.
Yep.
I've never seen it like this. Maybe every now and then after it rains, but
no, I've been here since 71. I was here and then moved away for a while to Philly and then came back. It's never been like this. Not since the automobile was invented. So
exactly. And so I think it's a beautiful thing. I hear the birds singing all the time now.
Yeah.
I haven't heard birds singing. I don't hear helicopters every few minutes or airplanes every few minutes. You got to remember, I live in South Central LA, where it's like, all kind of stuff going on all the time. And it's so peaceful. And I'm just really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And grateful for this opportunity for the reset. I was reading about like in Italy, how the fish are coming back into the canal and the canal's blue again. Like, so the earth is healing. I was reading something where they said the ozone layer is closing, and I'm like, I remember Jane Fonda was calling me and Sharon Stone's calling me to come to DC with them and protest outside the White House to demand that they start doing something about this global warming, and like inadvertently something is being done about the global warming now. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna get arrested every Friday. I'm like, yeah, I'm a black woman. I don't want to get arrested because they'll probably find some shit that I did do.
No, but you unfortunately have the fame card, and they love that you make them laugh. So I think they really do drop charges if you make people laugh. Well, I was friends with Rodney Dangerfield, where he always said, if you're in Nazi Germany and you're a Jew and you're trying to get out, if you do a good 6 minutes for the guard at the border, Okay, man, you can go through it. You're funny. But I don't know why a Nazi would talk in Rodney's voice. I have no idea.
Right. Right.
But there is, but what's weird is then we hear, okay, so when this is opening up again, as the year progresses and things start to open and people are out again and the smog comes back, that they're saying there's going to be double the pollution because everybody's going to work so hard and continue the stuff that caused the pollution, and not just driving, but all of the energy sources that we draw from. Whereas, wouldn't this be the best time to be building all of the, solar powered electric cars that you could possibly make and literally make huge industry and try to make giant income out of the future of
Right.
how we should be getting around? And I hope someone besides Elon Musk and a couple other people are doing it, but I would love it to see it on a federal level, so we could, on a world level, that would,
Right.
instead of dropping out of the environmental pact with other countries, which is obviously the dumbest move you could possibly make.
Exactly. But, or if they don't want to do that, then every year for 2 months, we take a break. Everybody stays in the house, which could suck.
Europe does it every day for 3 hours. They just call it lunch. They just.
Are you serious?
Well, France and Italy have nice long lunches. Not all the people that are working all day long, but
are those what they call siestas?
That would be in Spain, I believe, or in Mexico. But it's a siesta. I bet the French word for it would be. I don't speak any language. I don't speak English. I'm a Teletubby. I just make sounds. But it's that is a 3 hour. That's why I love going to Mexico, because if you're, not that I'm living there and working there, obviously I'm vacationing, but it's just a nice feeling. It's a very laid back feeling to have that kind of culture. I think it probably is easier on the heart and on the tension that we all live.
Right.
So many people are hurting right now. So many people just are tense and nervous and scared, and they watch the news all day long, and they're just scared to death.
Right. That's why, I only allow myself 15 minutes of that a day. Okay, let me check out. I give myself this. I literally set a timer of 15 minutes. Check what's going on in the world. Okay, timer goes off. That's enough of that. Now it's time to do something for Tiff, or I'll reach out to some foundations or whatever, make some donations, see if I can help in some kind of way. And that's it.
Yeah.
Then it's, family stuff or me.
Yeah, you. And I've got a wonderful, wonderful wife. I never knew this was going to happen. And we found out that, because I think people are going to get divorced after this thing's over. Some people are just going to go, I just love she can't leave me because she's stuck here. But
I know one of my ex-boyfriends called me and was like, I've been thinking a lot now. And
oh, here we go.
I'm like, don't you got a girlfriend? Why are you calling me? I think it's, since I don't have any kids and you don't have any kids, maybe we should start thinking about that. I'm like, don't you have a girlfriend? Look, that's not going to work out. Okay, Tiffany? But me and you, we always got along. We didn't argue about nothing. I'm just like, nah, man.
That is so, I've been hearing it a lot too, that people are connecting with their exes because they're lonely. And then they're thinking, wow, this feels like end of days. This feels like the end of the world. So I might as well connect with someone that I loved. So they're coming from love and sex memory and relationship memory. And it just goes back to the same way it was before.
Yep. It doesn't change.
No.
That's I've been enjoying Bumble. I've been on Bumble and meeting new guys. But the thing that's cool about Bumble is where the lady makes the first choice, and then you can reach out to the guy you say, oh yeah, he's cute. Go and pick him, and then send him a little note, and then he writes back, and then you write him back, and then he writes you back, and then you're like, you know what? Let's FaceTime. And inside the app, you can call or you can FaceTime each other, and they never have your phone number. And you don't have to give them any of your information or anything if you don't want to, So then I've been virtual dating, which is really cool.
And so you get to at least have some company and do some flirting and see if it's somebody that you could actually meet up with.
Yeah. And most of the guys I'm in, they're like, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to be a friend. He's not my speed, but he's smart. He's a scientist. I can ask him scientist questions. Like,
Right. So you'll get some
so,
intel.
yeah.
You don't
I
need
met a chef
to.
on there. I'm like, yeah, well, how would you make your tart? What would you do with it? Like so.
So you're just using all these men.
Yeah, well, they want to use me.
They do. They do. But can't you meet people through? I know we've got a situation where you can't really meet somebody, but you kind of could. Don't you have friends that go, you know what, you'd really like him? You would. Have you been through that? Because I went through that for a while.
Yeah, and then they're like, always trying to hook me up with some guy, and then I think only 2 times I actually like, okay, I'm gonna see what's up with this, and was like, you're not my real friend. You don't know me that good.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the worst. Years ago, I was like, I can't. I had like 5 to 7 girlfriends within 23 years. So I was divorced 23 years, 24 years ago, and now I'm married for 2 years, and I'm happy as hell. And it took a long time to get there. So there's a lot of misses, and then some good times that just didn't work out. But I would have a couple years off, and I just said to one friend, "Would you please help me meet somebody?" She said, "I got somebody for you." And come to my house for a party, and she wants you to pick her up. So I pick her up, and she gets in the car, and she was exactly the opposite of anything I'd ever experienced or thought. And I thought this person knew me, and it was the same thing you're saying. She had a haircut literally like a mushroom. It literally was like a mush, and she was pretty, but it was like a mushroom. A mushroom got in my car, and I didn't. I don't. I hope she's not listening. It could have been anybody, really.
Yeah, it could have been.
There's many. There's 15 or 16 mushroom people that got in my car, but but then I ended up taking her home, and I didn't kiss goodnight or anything, and I don't like that whole thing. It sounds like Bumble's a better solution.
Yeah, well, and it's where the ladies make the choice. So as a guy, you just have to sit, but post nice pictures of yourself and be honest about what you're into. And now they got they just launched this thing yesterday, which I'm like excited about. I'm probably going to do that a little later on, where it now, because at first it was just like within a 50-mile radius of where you are is where you can link up with people. But now it's like all across the country. So you can virtual date across the country now. So that's really cool. It opens up your options.
I still would say be careful because I'm sure all your friends are telling you that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think you got to be careful in dating in general. Even if you're just like, okay, I'm going to the bar and let's see what I meet. Like,
you can't.
You got to be careful with that.
You can't see herpes necessarily on Bumble. You can't see him.
No, you can't see herpes, but you sure can ask. And if the guy's like, what the fuck, is talking crazy to you, you can just be like, click, and he never can call you again.
Right.
Because he doesn't have your information.
Can you block them afterward too?
Yeah, you can block them. Yeah.
I was on this thing for a short time, I'm not going to lie, and it's called Raya. And I was on it for about 6 months. And a friend of mine told me to get on it. I went, I don't want to do a dating app, man. And he puts me on it. And I put my real age. So this was a long time ago. So from whenever it started, I don't know, 7 years ago or something. And I'm on it. And the only person that I put my real age. So most women not that I dated people from, junior high. Well, anyway, so it's a new world. It's a different time.
You dated some young ones. I've seen.
I was out for a while, but I was single, and I was with since high school. I was with my ex-wife till I was 42 years old. So I'd never, from 17 to 42, I was with one person. So
right,
you kind of pick up where you left off, which unfortunately is 17. So, but what happened was I was I put my real age, and then I would see that nobody put their age to be in my age group. I'm over the 50 age. So I think I put 55 because it was the truth or whatever. And the only person they hooked me up with was Courtney Love. I was like, oh, I can't do this. Hi, Courtney. Can you tell me what happened with Kurt? I didn't think that's the way to go. That's just
no, that's not the way to go.
If we date,
so
am I gonna?
Chelsea told me. Chelsea Handler was like, Tiffany, sign up for Riot. It'll change your life. It'll change your life. I'm like, how did it change yours? She's like, well, I mean, guys are still jerks. I'm like, yeah, I'm not signing up for that. Like, I want to meet real guys, real people that
Right.
have careers of their own, and not necessarily like, oh, I want a famous hot model, like just a regular guy, because I'm a regular girl.
You're so great. Damn it. I just wish everybody was, you're so, I don't know who do you think is the wisest person that helped you, that influenced you the most to give you this spirit? Or do you think it's just you? Do you think it just came from of your experiences and various people you were drawn to that helped raise you up?
I think it's all the different people that I've encountered, all the different, situations that I've experienced. I mean, my grandma had a lot to do with it, and my social workers, the different counselors I've had, and I think it's just, and also I think it's in my blood. It's in my blood to be resilient and to, always find the positive in whatever might be, difficult to deal with.
Out of the worst.
That's how I have survived. What's the funny in this? What's the thing I can smile about this situation?
Right. How can I look outside of it and rather than just dwell on it?
Right.
It's like when you watch the Oscars and you'll see a person get up and they'll say, I came from nothing. I came from, we had no food. You hear stories that are similar to yours, and they do the message into the camera that some people are cynical about, but they shouldn't be. Yes, it's the Oscars and all that stuff, and people that are making fun of it are because they're not there.
Right.
But it is true. I mean, you are one of those stories that is so empowering. And I know it's an inspiration to so many people.
Well, I'm glad I could be that. I feel like my purpose here on this planet is to teach through example and to bring joy is by any means that doesn't compromise my morale. So
Right.
That's what I try to do. And I just want to be a teacher through my example, through the way I live my life. I'm not perfect. And I'm gonna make mistakes, and I hope people see the mistakes I make and don't make the same one.
I don't know what to say. You're making. I got a tear coming out of my left eye, and my right one's just twitching.
And if I ever get to go to the Oscars again, and
you will,
and I win something, I'm gonna give this speech that's gonna be so hilarious that people won't realize they learned a very valuable lesson in it.
When they make you go through the dress rehearsal. This is just a little suggestion, a little production suggestion. You tell your people to please, or talk to the producer director yourself and say, please, I don't, humble yourself down. I whatever chance I have of winning, if I do win, please don't play the music. Just let me crush.
Let me crush.
Just let me crush at the Oscars. You got so much great stuff ahead of you. I can't wait that this is over. You get to go back to your movie, and I know it's going to be. Would you say it's your deepest acting experience that you've had?
No, I've had deeper ones, but those projects haven't come out yet.
Can you say the names of them?
No, not yet. Besides what popular belief is or whatever, I do know how to keep a secret because people think I tell everything.
Oh, you're not you're not a gossiper. You're not a
no.
Right.
No,
neither am I. I used to be one, and I got sick of it. And I don't even like the word I hate is celebrity. That's like the thing I
Yeah, because I ain't had no celebrations. Where's the celebration?
Where's my party?
Right.
But
that's why I had that bat mitzvah. I'm like.
You had a bat mitzvah?
Yeah, I had a bat mitzvah back in December.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, for the premiere of my special, Black Mitzvah. And I went and I learned Hebrew. It took me like 5 months. And I went through the whole ceremony. It was huge. It was a huge party. That's the biggest party I ever had. And that's the first time I felt like, now I'm a celebrity. Be a celebrant. I'm having a mitzvah, baby. I'm a grown woman now.
You're a Jewish princess.
Yes, I am. I'm an African Jewish princess.
Yeah, that would be AGP.
Yes.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this and talking to me. And I just love you so much. You're just so wonderful.
I love you too.
Oh, I can't wait. Next time I see you, we're going to be allowed to hug, and it's going to be another long one. So
yes, I look forward to it. I need those hugs.
Well, be well, be safe, and so much love.
All right. Love you too. You be well too.
You too.
Talk to you later.
Talk to
All
you
right.
later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's just a wonderful thing. She's just a beautiful person, and how incredibly talented and how funny and how heartfelt. That's a fortunate person who appreciates her good fortune because she came from nothing. She came from a very difficult life, and she's just beautiful. I just love her. So Tiffany Haddish today, and next time probably you guys. Probably I'll be calling some of my friends that I don't know yet. You all take care of yourself. Thank you for listening. I don't know what to say except I'll see you later. It's Bob Saget here for you. It's Bob Saget's here for you is the title, so I got to do the apostrophe S. So go up at the top and do what you got to do. You rate, review, and subscribe. I got to tell you that every time. It's good because at least I have some uniformity, right? Right. I can't even say uniformity. I reject it. So, but I don't when it comes to this. So, yeah, right. Rate, review, and subscribe. And be well, everybody. Stay safe out there. Talk to you soon. Bye. What if you need to go to the post office? What if you need to go there, right? And you don't want to go there. What if you need postage, say, to send out letters and packages? Well, don't you worry because stamps.com is here to help. How? Ask me how. All right, I agree. Because anything you can do at the post office, you can do at stamps.com. You can print postage on demand and skip those lines and crowds at the post office. Stamps.com brings all of the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer in the safety and comfort of your own home, office, or anywhere else you're hunkering down right now. It could be a trailer, a tent, a refrigerator box, wherever you are. If you got a computer and a printer, whether you're a small business sending invoices, an online seller shipping out products, or you're just working from home and need to mail stuff, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. You simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Can I say the word any anymore? No. Once your mail is ready, you just leave it for your mail carrier, schedule a free package pickup, or drop it in a mailbox. No human contact or animal contact is required. It's that simple. And like I said, with Stamps.com, you get great discounts too. You get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off of USPS shipping rates. That's a lot. And now, in addition to offering discounted U.S. Postal Service rates, Stamps.com also offers UPS services with discount rates up to 62%. That's a lot. Plus, with Stamps.com, you won't even have to pay UPS residential surcharges. Can you get that other places? I don't think so. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, especially these days because many of our friends don't have a lot going on. And there's a lot going on right now. And so this is going to save you time and money and keep you safe in these crazy times. And right now, my listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Everybody's looking for no long-term commitment. Come on, it's rough times. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in B-O-B. That's right, capitals, Bob. That's right, just type in Bob. That's Stamps.com and enter Bob, B-O-B. I don't know how I remember that. I think they did that so I'd remember it. Anyway, go to Stamps.com. You won't be sorry you did it, and you'll be able to get your stuff out on time and effectively and without having to go to the post office.